All right, so I'll try to do it quick.
You got time.
Okay. Do you prefer it above, below, or on the
Doesn't
horizon?
matter.
Okay.
Just as long as I can see it.
Okay. Well, how are you drawing yours? I'm trying to remember. Was yours below?
Oh, I don't know. I put that line wherever I try to put it.
Okay. I think
I
yours was
think I had
below.
I think I had it above.
Okay. Well, the above and below will be kind of the same because you can just flip it upside down. So
Oh.
I'm going to sketch the S first.
Well, I draw the box first and then put the S in it. That's what I did.
Well, did you draw this flat box?
I draw the 3D box or the 2-point perspective box.
Well, even before that, have you noticed that I've been drawing the box? I've been drawing like a flat rectangle.
Maybe I didn't see that.
So it kind of gets thin, gets real thick down the middle. All right, so this is what I'm getting, guys, without spending too much time on it. So this would be the bottom, the right side, and the left side. And Shannon, I really like having this rectangle because it's like my guide, like I'm almost copying a grid to do this. So I like to do an X to help me find the center, and then do kind of a plus sign, vertical and horizontal. So now I'm going to draw the S. And I think I'm going to draw, I was just trying to decide in my head, am I going to draw it like this or like this? And what would be more interesting? This feels more interesting. I don't know if it matters though. I think I'll do it facing this way.
That's the same way I have mine.
Okay, good.
If you can see mine, like that's the same way I have mine.
I was able to see yours, but when I turned to doing my video, I couldn't see it anymore. So
oh,
I'm going to make the thinner side, this left side. You don't have to make it this thin. And depending on your composition, you may actually want to stretch it, make it longer. All right, now I've told you guys repeatedly, you've got to draw both all of the box as if it's see-through, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm just going to draw the front side and get the S to happen on it. And I think this might be too wide. I'm going to pull it in a little bit. And I'm going to get the S to happen on that. And then I'm going to have to finish drawing the back side of the box to know how to actually draw it fully in 2-point perspective. So getting rid of this line. I just think it needs to be a little more vertical. Since I already caught myself not making it vertical enough here. So now I've got to replicate this same X to find the center, but this time the X is going to look maybe a little funnier because it's going to be representing where this letter is going to go in perspective. Perfect vertical. If you don't feel confident about your ability to draw a vertical line, make sure you anchor it off the bottom of the page. Do you see how I'm lining up the bottom of the page with the right angle? I was close, but I was a little off. And then to do the horizontal,
now.
You've got to go through the center point and back to the vanishing point. Okay, so now I'm going to do my best to sketch in this S. The top of it is going to be here, but then it's going to head down. And prior to hitting that
Are
angle,
you doing homework? Are you still in class?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
this will start to curve in again and go up. At this center point, it's definitely touching the top. Over here, I'm curving and I'm going to hit the edge of the box set kind of down here below halfway. Then it's going to curve in, and right about in the middle is where it seems like it passes over. So, I mean, I can't really make this up. That's a lot to try to, you know, transpose, not sure what the word would be for that, into 2-point perspective just out of your head. So I'm looking now at the shapes that this is making, these little triangles, and this curve shape before I head back out down here. This passes over past halfway, just a little past halfway. This, well, this never touches, but the outermost point is right here. So I'm going to have that touch. That's probably too soon. All right, so, oh, I'm not done yet. Thought I might be. All right, so those are the steps of kind of taking this flat S and changing it into one that's actually in 1-point perspective, right? Because it's vanishing to one vanishing point. To make it two-dimensional, I'm sorry, to make it three-dimensional and to make it go to both vanishing points, now we've got to deal with these sides that go back in space in the other direction. And we've also got to deal with curves, which is a tricky part of it. So the easy part is this line, you know, this top part of the S going back to the back of the box. The curve I'm going to have to come back to. I can find the center, you know, I told you guys the center of that was where the letter touched. So I do have a little bit of an idea of sort of what happens there. And I also know this comes, you know, straight down, although I, you know, remember how I was talking about finding the last point before it curves? That will be that last point. So coming over here, this is sort of the last point before the letter starts to curve back under. However, I don't think that much more will show past here, but the way I can find out is now that I've got, you know, the curves and this location picked out, I'm going to go to the very last point that I hit the curve out here, which is right about here. And that's going to tell me where the angle, the last point on the curve that I can see. It doesn't go all the way to the end of the box. I have to create a curve to sort of finish that box. The same thing happens here. When I start out from the letter and I try to find the edge of this S, I'm going to go in, and the first point I hit on the curve, which is this right out here, that's where the edge of the S is going to be. I've got this point to worry about, this point. And I can just draw, right here from that back side. That shows me where the back part of that S is going to be. This is trickier though. This point is a point that's somewhere inside this back plane. So I don't know where this letter is going to end. Same thing here. Even if I draw a line back in space, it's not like I can just pick a point on the edge of the box. It's a point somewhere inside of the box. So this is where I need to go back and draw the rest of the box. I'm kind of running out of things to do without understanding that. So now this is me drawing the back side, sort of finishing that box that we started, because I need to know what that back plane is going to look like. Oops, that's it. And then this is the back vertical back side. So from here to here, if I draw a diagonal, that's going to match this diagonal. Does that make sense? And from here to here, this diagonal will be, and you can find it by just going back, following these two orthogonal lines back to the vanishing point. From here to here is going to show you where to draw that other back X. So this is the first one. Here's the second one. This is so important. And here's this angle. And then going back, here's the corners. It's a lot of lines at this point, but can you see the one X and then the other X? And then, when I found this point, wait, what point? This point, it was on that diagonal, right? So now when I look back, oh, there's the point. That's that diagonal that I was looking for. And where this line intersects with that gives me that same location. So now I can finish drawing up. I've only got 2 minutes left here. So I don't know if I can finish this. I'm going to pick the point where this S touches the edge of the box and go down. The next point I've already drawn, it's where this disappears behind. So I just basically need to mimic this curve to show where it disappears behind. Although you could do some fancy work to get more specific, I think just eyeballing it is okay right now. We can't see any more of this curve after this until it comes back out down here. So finding 1 or 2 more places might be important. For the bottom of the S, I need to go down, back, and then back up to find the center line, or I could just draw a line straight down from the X, right? The back X. And then wherever this point hits that vertical, just like it hits on the front center line, that tells me where that S will go. So depending on your comfort level, you may be getting close to having enough information to finish that S sort of on your own, imagining what that curve would look like to match the front curve. And then up here, do I see any of the top of this letter? I don't know. I've got to get that ruler, come down and see where I hit the curve of the S. I hit right here. So I think I will see just a bit of that S showing up on top. Okay, so I actually did finish that, and hopefully that's helpful to you guys. So it's 11:45. although your pieces are not due on Tuesday, please pretend like they are. Additionally, I'd like you to watch the Chuck Close video that's under the grid portrait project. And I would like